Hi, Cassie Kitzmiller here, and I am so excited that you are going to be joining us for this episode of the Christian Women Business Builders podcast, or if you are catching us on YouTube or in the Facebook group, welcome. Today's topic is one that is near and dear to my heart because it really is, in a nutshell, the story of entrepreneurship in my life. So, what we're going to be talking about today is growing from the kingdom's ways. So, how do we grow in the kingdom versus growing in the world? So, when I think about kingdom growth versus growing the world's way, growing in the world, I really think about the parable of the seed. And we're told that there's a lot of seed scattered, but some of the seed falls into an area where it sprouts up and it gets burned up and there's no root. And some of the seed falls where the birds come down and pick at it and eat it up. And some of the seed falls where the tangles and the challenges and the weeds of life come and choke it out. But some of that seed falls in fertile soil and it goes on to produce a return, a crop, 30, 60, or even 100-fold. And so when I think about that seed that lands in good soil, and I think about the seed that falls on the rocky earth and doesn't have any roots and gets tangled out by the cares of the world, it's such a beautiful picture of what happens when we grow in the kingdom, following kingdom principles, and when we grow in the world and try to do it the world's way. So if your business is a seed that's been given to you from the Lord, are you growing it in soil that is not meant for life? Remember, the world's way is death and destruction and turmoil. The kingdom's way is life and life more abundant. It's abundance and life and a beautiful reconciliation and restoration. So are you building your business in the soil of the earth versus the soil of the kingdom? And are you growing on principles that are worldly or kingdom? So I preface this at the beginning by saying this idea of growing our businesses from a kingdom lens, from a kingdom perspective and kingdom soil is so personal to me because as an entrepreneur from an early age, like some kids played Barbie, some kids played teachers, some kids played house. I played business owner. I'd line my stuffed animals up and we would have a store, or we would be earning money for something, or we would be selling something. I started selling I think my very first business was charging my parents to watch my brother and sister and I put on plays. I sold cakes at my mom's work in high school. I made natural products and sold them in college. All that to say that entrepreneur is just who I'm wired to be, right? But yet I have tried so many times to build businesses off the world's ways and really struggled with not seeing that fruit, not seeing those returns. Or if I did see fruit, it came at a cost. It came at a cost of my time, of my energy, of my mental sanity. And so it's like, Lord, if you made me to be an entrepreneur, why is it so hard to build a business if that's what you've made me to do? And through the beauty of just trusting the Lord and learning his ways and learning his heart and building a new online business over the past 7 years, he's shown me that there are truths, that there are kingdom principles that when we align our actions, our thoughts, our words, our deeds with his ways, we will see that bountiful fruit. When we try to operate and plant in the world, we're not going to see the fruit. It's going to be strangled out by the cares. It's not going to go very deep. When the sun comes out, it's going to scorch it. When we put it out there, our ideas are going to get picked apart by the birds and the criticizers, all of that. So listen in, because we're going to make this really applicable for you and your business. When it comes to learning how to build a business that is built off of peace, love, hope, joy, goodness, faithfulness, peacefulness, self-control, all of the fruits of the Spirit, we are going to be profitable because we are creating something of so much value that there's not even a way to really put a number on it. We will be attracting wealth. We'll be creating a generation of wealth that comes from a production of great value as opposed to the world's way where we are trying to generate the value ourselves. We're trying to be valuable enough. We're trying to create a valuable enough product, a good enough offer, a great enough service, a good enough doodad, right? So when we take the two different ways and we say, okay, Lord, I'm tired of doing it the world's way. I'm tired of trying to do it off of my strength, off of my understanding, off of my ways, off of what the world's telling me to do. And I'm ready to align myself with your ways and your will and your heart for my business. Lord, how do I do that? That's where I was 4 years ago, where I knew that what I was doing wasn't working. I had walked away from my brick and mortar business. That was going to be my game plan. I came home to stay home with these three little cutie pies here. And I was just searching. I said, Lord, there has to be a better way. Lord, I can't keep doing it this way. I can't keep this up. You're going to have to show me a better way. And he did. And he's still showing me that there is so much richness in his soil. There's so much goodness when we tap into the ways of the kingdom. But they do not look like the ways the world operates. When we work in the ways of the world, it's based off of what we're doing and what we are having operate off of our understanding. When we do it in the kingdom, we are starting to work in a different realm. And in order to do that, the Lord has to change who we are so we can operate in the system that he's built. The world system is not the same as the kingdom system. So the person that we are in the world can't be the person that operates in the kingdom. We have to change first. And friend, he gives us everything we need to change. But first, it has to happen from the inside. For us to see external change and to go from one area of operation into another, we have to learn the ways of operation. We have to be trained in the processes of operating in a new economic industry. So all of that looks like allowing the Lord to rework us from the inside out. Now, I am going to be doing a second follow-up interview or second follow-up session on this concept right here. This is the idea that the Lord loves us so much that he's going to allow us to do the work on the inside. He's going to guide us and direct us through his Holy Spirit to do the work on the inside so that we can understand how to operate in the kingdom. We don't just jump from the world to the kingdom with just a decision. Okay, I'm done here. I'm going to go work over here. We have to go through a training process. We have to be rewired. We have to learn to think differently, to operate differently, to act differently so that we can show up and be a producer in the kingdom economic ecosystem. So stay tuned. If you're like, okay, this makes sense. I know the way I'm doing it, it's not working. I know there's a better way. I can see that there's a better way. I want to do the work to bridge the gap. I want to do the work on the inside so that I can see the different results on the outside. If that is you, stay tuned for our next episode where I'm going to be breaking down the idea of going inside out and how that works when it comes to operating a kingdom business that truly produces fruit for generations to come. All right, I hope you have a very blessed day, and I cannot wait to jump in with the second part of this and give you what you need to start working from the inside out. Talk soon.